Good morning, everyone. On behalf of Reverend Nagasi and all the members, we welcome everyone to our Miroku Association USA September Ancestor Service. Today we are gathered to pray for the welfare of all of our ancestors. As we all know, our ancestors are the roots which sustain our families in this physical world. The spiritual level of our ancestors directly affects us. As Mishu-sama said, good and bad fortune are in no way accidental, but are inevitably determined by the degree of purification in the spiritual world. Mishu-sama continues, there is still another determining factor, whether survivors hold memorial services earnestly and with love for the spirit of the departed. Moreover, the intensity with which survivors and descendants help others, work for the welfare of society and the nation, and accumulate virtue accelerates the purification of our ancestors. This means that filial piety is not limited to this life. On the contrary, the prayers offered and good deeds performed after the death of one's parents can be even more important than the care shown during life. With this in mind, this service has a significant role in our lives and the spiritual level of our ancestors. Let us take this time to express our gratitude to God and Mishu-sama for all the blessings bestowed upon us and our ancestors. May our ancestors receive your light and be raised to a higher level of bliss. Please pray along silently as we have the opening prayer to God.
Great God of light, creator and giver of all life, to whom the sacred divine scroll and altar have been dedicated. With hearts filled with gratitude, we have gathered here before you to celebrate our Miroku Association USA September 2021 Ancestor Service. On this very special day, we would like to offer our prayers of praise and gratitude for the protection, help, and countless blessings we have received. May we deepen our understanding of the importance of the mission of this church and our individual missions for the salvation of humanity and our ancestors through the practice of Jorei, nature farming, and the appreciation of beauty. Today, we acknowledge and offer a special prayer for our ancestors, family, and loved ones who have passed to the spiritual realm, and for those enshrined at the sacred grounds. We pray also for all the souls who have spiritual affinity with the Miroku Association USA and all victims of war, conflict, terror, and natural disasters. We ask that you grant them eternal salvation and allow them to become effective instruments to realize your divine plan for paradise on earth, and thereby attaining peace and everlasting happiness. Great God of life, please accept our prayers of gratitude and monetary appreciation offerings. Strengthen and guide us in our service to you and to humanity.
Please rise and join us in the Matsurito, the prayer of heaven, followed by the prayer for ancestors.
Takamahara ni kamuzumarimasu. Kamurogi kamurogi no mikoto mochite. Tsumemi oya kamuiza gino mikoto. Tsukushi no himuka no tachihana no. Odo no ahagi harani. Nisogi harai kamo oki ni narimaseru. Arai dono o kamitachi. Moro moro no marakoto tsumi kerareo. Arai tamae kiyome tamae tomausu koto no yoshio. Amatsu kami kunitsu kami aoyosu no kami tachi tomo ni. Ame no fuchi toma no ibi furitatete. Kikoshime seto. Kashikomi kashikomi mamaosu. Miroku o mikami. Mamori tamae saki hae tamae. Miroku o mikami. Mamori tamae saki hae tamae. Oshie mi oya nishi no kami. Mamori tamae saki hae tamae. Oshie mi oya nishi no kami. Mamori tamae saki hae tamae. Annagara tamachi haemase. Annagara tamachi haemase. Great God of light, bless and protect the souls of our loved ones whose journey here on earth is over. And as they continue on, great God, encircling in your light, may they be raised to ever finer and higher states of true eternal bliss. Great God of light, bless and protect us all. Radiate our souls with your divine light, so that we may truly become instruments of your great plan.
Please join us in the reading of Meishu-sama's poem for annual and other memorial services.
In the physical body,
Spiritual progress is limited. In the spiritual realm, there are no limits to one's growth. Because of your service to God in the spiritual realm, you have risen and will continue to rise to ever higher and higher planes. The human soul is priceless, repeating birth and death over and over again, growing and expanding throughout eternity.
Please be seated. We will now receive Jare, the divine light. Thank you, God. We'll now hear Mishu-sama's teaching our spiritual connection to our ancestors. The spiritual realm of the East is generally vertical, having many different classes from high to low, while the spiritual realm of the East is generally horizontal, with not so many class differences, and where people generally think that they are essentially equal. What I'm going to explain is mainly about the spiritual realm of Japan. When a person dies, family members observe a period of mourning and hold regular memorial services in Japanese Buddhism until the 49th day of the transition and until the 50th day of the transition in Shintoism, the traditional religion of Japan. Until that day, it is generally believed that the spirit of the departed remains in the astral plane, which is between the spiritual vibration and density of the physical plane and the spiritual plane. After that day, the spirit returns to where it originally came from, namely the spiritual realm. There is one thing I want to warn about during this period. The bereaved family members sometimes have the sense of deep sorrow and cannot release attachment to the departed for a long time. It is understandable, but too much grieving and attachment for too long is not good for the departed soul itself. When the family's grieving and attachment is too strong for a long time, it draws and restricts the departed soul, and it cannot move on to the spiritual realm as it should in the natural course of events. After about 100 days, the family should try to release the sense of sorrow and grief and forget the departed person. Images of the departed can be displayed on the altar or some other place for about 100 days, then can be removed and stored for some time. Once the strong grief and emotional attachment is lessened considerably, the pictures can be displayed once again. Anna Maria has a few important announcements for us.
Good morning, everyone. Hope you're having a great day. Wonderful Sunday. So we have some announcements for everyone. The national headquarters monthly service is the first Sunday of the month. It is a little early, 8 a.m. here in LA. Our West Coast region services are the second and fourth Sundays of the month at 11 a.m. The second is our appreciation, and the fourth is our ancestor service. If you would like to volunteer to serve during one of these services, please contact Reverend Nagase or A.G. Takahara. This coming Tuesday and Wednesday evening, we have our weekly teaching at 6:30 p.m. on Zoom. Tuesday will be in Portuguese and hosted by Reverend Banya. Wednesdays will be in English, hosted by A.G. Takahara. One of our members, will be sharing a faith experience. Reverend Kosaka and Lily landed safely in Japan to start a new phase of their lives. We hope to see them again soon, maybe next year. For future planning, put a faith reservation in our phone for Jarray at the park in San Diego, and this is coming up on October 16th. Let's talk about Ikebana. Valeria and Lee's class is on the fourth Saturday of every month, and it is pretty much full right now, but if you are still interested in beginning classes, more classes will be offered every Friday, 11:30 a.m. and 2 p.m. or 4 p.m. If you are really interested, please call us, let us know. We will open up more classes, and we want you to contact Valeria or Janaina at the center to sign up. The same thing will happen with also additional Saturday classes on the first and third Saturday. Right now, the plan is for one class either starting at 12 p.m. or 2 p.m., depending on students' preferences. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, thank you very much.
We would like to invite A.G. Takahara to share some thoughts with us.
Good morning, everyone. Okay, let's start off with raise your hand if you are feeling blessed. All right, that's good. And you have basically no trouble eradicating miseries such as illness, poverty, and conflict. What follows is some of the blessings and miracles that have occurred in my life since I was born. Took it all the way back to the beginning. Right up to the present. By the way, this blessing came about because of a homework assignment given to us this past Wednesday from Reverend Nagase. Thank you, Reverend Nagase. Now, there are a few interesting ones. By the way, I have several pages of this. There are a few interesting ones. We will try audience participation. Okay, I'm going to read quietly the titles for all the blessings, and I will read out loud a few of them. And all you have to do is give me a thumbs up if you want to hear about it, or a thumbs down. Thumbs down is fine. I'll just keep going. Okay, so these are okay. to take note of the time too. Okay, here we go. Age 5, my mom did my homework. Okay. Age 5, mom and dad enrolled us in Japanese language school. Okay. Oh, we have one back there, but I think I'll just press on. I gotta have at least 2 thumbs up. Oh, okay, Japanese language. Okay. I at the time I did not consider this a blessing. I think going to school, right? One school is enough. Yes. So for my parents to sign me up for Japanese language school, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays after school, I thought was out of there. And boy, I wish I could talk to my 5-year-old self and say, just pay attention a little bit. You might learn something, and you might be able to use it someday. Your parents are doing this for a reason. But of course, no, I didn't do that. So I didn't learn much, but I did learn how to play football, flag football, really good. I practiced that. And I have to admit that later on, when I was in high school, it came really in handy because the Japanese school was right across the library. And we didn't have computers back then. We didn't have Google. We had an encyclopedia set at home, and I had the library. Guess what? I went from English school straight to the library to work on certain research and things that turned out to be a real blessing. Okay. Retired from baseball due to an injured right shoulder. Okay. 1 merit badge short of Eagle Scout. Yeah. Let's see. Second A in a PE class that I got in golf. Anybody want to hear? Oh, okay. Yeah, this is at the Air Force Academy. I have to admit, that school was really, really difficult academically, but I enjoyed PE. And so I got 1A in PE fairly quickly. That was unarmed combat because the instructor, the professor, was my judo coach. He said, "Get out of the class. You don't need to be there." But anyway, so golf. I didn't really know how to play golf, but I paid attention in class. And then we have a final. At the end of 10 lessons, we have a final. And depending on how good you do, you get a grade. A, B, C, whatever. Anyway, so we're all set up for a final. It's a very short hole, maybe about 120 yards. And we hit 1 golf ball to the green, and then we played it. And the professor, he's watching all this. I hit the absolute worst golf shot of my entire life, but he was looking the other way. And the golf ball went scooting down the fairway, rolled up on the green, hit the pin, and then plopped itself 1 inch from the hole. So I casually walked up there, tapped it in, and the professor turns around, he's looking and goes, "What is that? Is that a 4-2? Yes, sir. You got a name." Anyway. Okay. First flight in T-37. That's a all the Air Force pilots fly the T-37 first. Well, it's T-41, but the actual pilot training is the T-37. Anyone wants to hear about that? Okay. Let's see. Mhm. Let's see. Age 26. Bad weather almost cost me the lives of my crew, my entire crew and myself, of course. Anybody? Okay. Oh, I don't know if I shared this before, but okay, here goes. Okay, when we're flying missions in South Korea, training missions, we sometimes fly in formation, very close to each other. These are large cargo aircraft, C-130s, and sometimes we fly close to each other. Sometimes we fly far apart from each other, and in this case, we were 5 minutes in trail, so we're pretty much single ship. And I think I was like number 2 or 3 in that group. Anyway, we were trying our best to navigate, and the weather was bad. There was a lot of ground fog and a lot of haziness, and it was hard to pick up the turn points. We have navigational aids in the airplane, but this is you have to understand that the modern day GPS that we have now, we did not have. Okay, so the weather was bad. We were flying along, and I was looking for a turn point on the ground. We're flying about 500 feet above the ground. I couldn't see it, and I said, "Navigator, let's turn on timing." So he's timing all our legs, and so we turned on timing, but I believe it was not over the turn point. I think we were at that point. We were not where we thought we were going to be. As soon as I made the turn, we went into a cloud. So here we are, 500 feet above the ground, looking and avoiding big mountains, and we went into a cloud. I had a safety observer on board my airplane. I started an emergency climb, max power, blocked my nose up, and I remember the safety observer said, stand it on its tail, or something like that. Because it's an emergency situation. We're in the clouds, we don't know what's in front of us. And all I remember is thinking, we have a lot of speed at 500 feet over the ground. So I said, I'm going to just stand it right up. And I asked the co-pilot for flaps. And normally I don't ask for flaps. I don't know why. I don't know why I asked for flaps. But I asked for flaps, and the airplane just kept climbing at almost a vertical, like a helicopter. And this is the first time I'm sharing this. I did not share this with my crew. I think they couldn't take the shock of it. But the airplane, the C-130, has lots of windows. Great airplane for sightseeing. Okay? And even through the rudder pedals, my feet is on the rudder pedals. I can look through my feet, and there's a window there, so I can see out. And what I saw, I could not believe. It was pine trees. I mean, right there, pine trees, as we were climbing vertical. And so we landed the airplane, got the crew together, we're talking about it, and I said, What do you guys think happened? And we went to the chart and we said, okay, we missed that turn point. So we may have been about 5 miles off course, maybe north. And we made an immediate turn. And guess what? Right past that turn, at 5 miles off course, was a mountain. That's the mountain we cleared. I don't know how many feet we cleared it by, but it was very close. And I would say, knowing what I know now, I would say, yes, my entire life after that that's just like another start. It's like another beginning, because it's if that safety observer was not on that plane, I believe I would have taken that airplane into the mountain. I don't think I would have stood the airplane on its tail. And one day I'm going to talk to that safety observer again and thank him, because I never got the chance. He was a very difficult man to work with. But if he's still around, I'm going to reach out and make sure I can. Any questions on that? Okay. Let's see. You guys don't want to hear about shopping in Hong Kong, do you? No. In fact, I'll have some fun here. I'm gonna, as soon as I reach the point where I become a member, I'll read the passages. Let's see. A remote tour in Saudi Arabia. Anybody? Okay. My mom broke her hip. Anybody want to hear about that? No. Yeah, these are not good things, but they actually turned out really to be blessings. It's incredible. Okay. Became a member of Sekai Kiseikyo. Anybody want to hear about that? Okay. Yeah, I was on vacation in Hawaii, and but one thing concerned me. Tracy, my second daughter, was struggling with some kind of mysterious ailment, and all the doctors we took her to just couldn't figure it out. So even while I was on vacation for a couple of weeks, I said, something is bothering me about this. I need to do something. I need to. And so I looked up my Uncle Ben, who's a member of Sekai Kiseikyo at the Hawaii Church, and I said, hey, Uncle Ben, tell me about Jorei. He looked at me and went, no, you go see Reverend Ryuta. I said, okay, I can do that. So I go over to see Reverend Ryuta, and he says, hi. Oh, I'm not going to talk to you until you get at least 10 Jorei. And back then it was 30-minute Jorei. I said, oh, not a problem. So I received a lot of Jorei during that week. And then that weekend, he gave me the membership course. And I remember thinking to myself, as I was taking the membership course, I was thinking, I believe in everything that he's sharing about this church. Where has this church been all my life? And the answer is, it's been right in front of me. I mean, my dad was a member, my Uncle Ben, my Nancy, it's been there, but I just didn't see it. Okay, so anyway, I received my ohikame, and before leaving for the mainland, Reverend Ryuta said, go ahead and look up, there's a church in Los Angeles. Go ahead and look that up, see. And I totally forgot I was giving Tracy a lot of joy, and I forgot about the center. But his son calls me up, Naohito, says, "Hey, can you give me a ride to the center?" And that was the beginning. I gave him a ride. He introduced me to everyone there, and the rest is okay. Looks like I'm doing good on time here, so I'm not going to read all of these. How about age 58? An eagle with Bruce Furwick. Bruce Furwick is a golfing buddy of mine. Anybody know what an eagle is? A birdie is 1 under par. An eagle is 2 under par. And if you're on a short hole, like a par 3, an eagle is a hole in 1. Anybody want to hear about the eagle? Oh, okay. Told you, most of you, about Mount Fuji, so I'm going to skip that. Wow. I don't know if I shared this one with you folks. Permission to join the pilgrimage to Japan. That was age 60. Anybody want to hear about that real quick? Okay. Okay, so basically, that year, it started out with requesting permission to go to Africa to help with the sacred grounds in Africa. So I saved up enough money for that. And then it got canceled because we didn't have enough members from the United States to go on that trip. So I said, oh, okay. And then I received the bad news that my mother-in-law, my ex-wife's mom, passed away in Seattle. So it worked out that I had some funds to help out with the memorial service up there in Seattle. So that worked out. And then I came back to Los Angeles and I ran into Reverend Janet, and we were just catching up and having dinner and sharing stories. And then she says, just before we start to leave, she says, so you're going to the Sacred Grounds this year? And I looked at her, I said, no, because in my mind, I had already spent the money that I saved for Africa at the memorial service, so I wasn't planning on going to Japan. And I looked at her, I said, no. And then she looked at me and said, I'm sorry, that's exactly what you said while we were having dinner. You were going to the Sacred Grounds. And I looked at her and said, no, I'm not. I said, yes, you are. And I looked at her again and I said, oh, okay, I got it. Let me look into this. Okay? And then I thought about it. And the next time I saw Reverend Nagase, I stuck my head in his office because he's always busy. And I said, is there room on this Sacred Grounds, the pilgrimage? And he says, I don't know. And I said, is it too late to sign up? And I don't exactly remember the words he used, but something along the lines of, if you have permission to go, you'll be going. But anyway, so I looked at him and I said, okay, I don't know how I'm going to do this yet, but sign me up. Put my name on there and give me the information, and I'll figure it out. I go home, and I'm wondering, how am I going to do this? Then I get a phone call. My older brother is calling me, and he says, we have some extra funds in my parents' trust fund, and he's just going to disperse the funds. He's not going to leave it in the trust. And so he wrote out a check for the four of us, and $2,500 check. I said, okay, I'm going. And by the way, that was the pilgrimage that Allison also was on, and the rest is history. Okay, all right. I'm gonna end it here. I had a few comments. Let me read this to you, okay? All ages. Okay, so the way I built this, I just put down the age and when it happened. I didn't put a year. Just wanted to know what part of my life it was. And then I said, all ages. You will be the same person in 5 years as you are today, except for the people you meet and the books you read. And supposedly, a guy by the name of Charlie Tremendous Jones said that. I thought it was Eleanor Roosevelt all these years, and I go to Google and I go, who's this guy? Anyway, so basically what I'm saying is that's the way our lives are. We basically change because of the people that we meet throughout our lives, and of course the books that we read. And that's why reading the teachings of Meishu Sama becomes very, very important. Okay. I wanted to share a faith experience, but I'm not, it's like the time here. But I will post it on the bulletin board back there. I think you might find it interesting. I suggest everyone do something similar to this. All of a sudden you will see everything as a blessing. Good and so-called bad events happen for a reason. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Meishu Sama said every individual should be striving daily to attain an ever higher state of spiritual consciousness, especially those of you who have faith in God. Let us pray for our ancestors on a daily basis, in the hopes of doing the same for them. This concludes our today's service. Thank you for your attendance and for your continued service. Please be safe, and may God and Meishu Sama bless you all.